when I was logging in, I could overhear somebody who is talking about her problems with CBE classes. May I know what is the problem? Is there any problem?
Problem is that, ma'am, we are not understanding paper 4 and paper 2.
Who is taking paper 4?
Paper 4 is taking B. Ashok sir. Paper 2 is Christopher sir.
Okay.
Just they are not asking even any questions in the middle. Just they are going through their knowledge, they are according to their knowledge, and they are going from the reference books. That is paper 2. And paper 4, ma'am, just is totally giving a lecture without listening of any kind of students. Just is totally giving the lecture from 1.5 hours continuously. Just all balls are bouncing from over our like that. That is the problem, ma'am.
Paper 4 is Ashok sir?
Yeah, paper 4 Ashok sir.
Okay. So paper 4, because he is continuously talking and not considering you. Okay, that's a problem. What about paper 2?
Paper 2 is not explaining from the textbook, madam. He is explaining from reference books. He is giving some notes on PowerPoint slide. It is not in our textbook. Just already we are confusing with the textbook. So by using that, what should we can do?
Okay, Nagaraj Garu, even I am not teaching from the textbook. So you have a problem.
No, madam. You are following the content. That is very interesting. Is there? So in your class, we are not opening the textbook. Just we are note down your points, whatever saying. That's all information is available in the textbook.
Oh, good.
Your class and Sharda madam class and Vijay madam class. మీ ఇద్దరు క్లాస్ మాత్రమే మీకోసం ఉన్నాం మేడం. ప్రామిస్ చెప్తున్నా నేనైతే టు బి ఫ్రాంక్ గా. నాకు ఆన్లైన్ క్లాసులు ఉంటే నేను మా పిల్లలను వదిలేసి నేను చెప్తున్నా ఐఎమ్ టీచర్.
Anu Satya, please switch it off. Okay.
Sorry, ma'am.
Okay.
Can you help us with the paper 4, ma'am? Because we don't understand anything about it, and he is continuously giving the speech, ma'am. Lecture is somewhat understandable. He is continuously giving the speech, and it is not at all, attractable to understand what he is saying it. So can you help us with the paper 4, ma'am? It is very difficult for us to understand because we are unable to understand a single bit of it.
Okay. See, Santosh, Shailaja, what are there in paper 4, Victorian age, 19th century, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
19th century. Can you read out the contents?
Yes, ma'am. I'm reading it out. It is romanticism, fancy and imagination, science and religion, dramatic monologue, lyrics, gothic, historical novel, and Wordsworth is Tintin Abbey, and Wordsworth Prelude Book 1, and Kubla Khan, and Rhyme of the Ancient Manual to a Skylark, Ode to the Wind, Ode to a Nightingale, Ode on a Grecian Ur, The Lotus Eater, Ulysses, My Last Duchess, Andrea del Sarto. And the study of criticism, the study of poetry, essay of Iliad, Dream Children, Emma, of the Doctor something, ma'am. S of the
Double Wins. Okay.
Next one is Wuthering Heights.
Wuthering Heights. Okay. All these are beautiful texts, ma.
That's why we are asking, ma'am. You can help us.
I can help you, but what about my own 20th century? See, did I lose you? No. See, my dear students, now from each unit of the 20th century, we have completed at least one text comfortably, isn't it? Are you on there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, and now you know that there is lot of choice, isn't it? Choice is there, no? Out of, see, I will tell you what the question paper is like. The
Sorry,
first,
ma'am. Sorry to interrupt you. This is my first class. I don't know anything about it. Just give me a brief discussion about it back.
see, you just follow whatever I am telling. Actually, I am taking 20th century, that is paper 5. Okay, Mirza Fazil Beg. I am taking your paper 5, but your classmates are asking me about paper 4. Okay, they have some issues with paper 4. They are not able to comprehend some of the issues that are there in paper 4. They are asking me to help them out. Okay, Mirza Fazil Beg,
Okay,
help
ma'am.
them out. Right, that's the issue here. Now, Shailaja read out the contents.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so now,
Okay, ma'am.
which one from unit 1, romanticism is there, isn't it, Santosh? Shailaja?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now listen, all of you, my dear participants. Are you comfortable with 20th century? Because the question paper is going to be like this. You will be given 5 questions, short questions. From each unit, one question will be given. Okay, unit that is part A of your question paper. And out of the 5, earlier you were asked to write all the 5, but now you are asked to write only 3.
Okay.
Mirza, please mic switch off karo na,
Okay, ma'am.
because I am able to hear my own voice. Okay. So you are now asked to write only 3 short questions. Each question comes from each unit. You have 5 units, so 5 small questions. Then we will go to part B. Earlier you were asked to write internal choice. It means that every unit you were supposed to be reading at least 2 to 3 texts. But now, out of the 10 questions given to you in part B, you are supposed to write any 4. So there is very, very vast, what is that, choice. You have vast choice. So at least if one lesson from each unit you are perfect with, and if you tell me it's okay, ma'am, we are comfortable because from each unit you have completed one. Very systematically we went. From each unit I finished 1. And I am sure those of you who have been listening to me and taking down the notes are very comfortable and are ready to write the exam even today. How many of you are very comfortable?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Me also.
Yes, ma'am.
All of you are comfortable with paper 5. Isn't it?
Only 3 only, but I am very comfortable with the 3 and 2 are
Whatever you have listened to. Fine. So what shall we do now? Shall I, and it's only among us, okay, my dear participants? You should not spill this. Like, I will be just explaining those of the exams, those of the units that you are finding it very difficult in paper 4.
So that's great.
okay, ma'am.
What do you say? It's up to you. Do you want me to go back to paper 5? Or you want me to go to some units which you find it very difficult in paper 4? Discuss. I'll give you 5 minutes time. I will switch off the mic and I will leave the place. మీరు డిస్కస్ చేసుకొని నాకు చెప్పండి.
Let us go.
Don't discuss here. Discuss on your WhatsApp group. Okay, have come back. శ్యామ్ సుందర్ గారు మీరు మైక్ ఆఫ్ చేయలేదు.
Oh, sorry, madam. Just a minute.
Ma'am, some of us were not there in that group, ma'am.
I think we will continue with paper 5. Okay. So Reshma said we will continue with paper 5.
Ma'am,
No, madam. How many classes do you have, madam? Remaining classes? How many classes you have?
I am left with, I think yesterday I took 2. Just check the timetable. Do you have the timetable with you?
Yes, madam. I think 5 completed, I think. 4-5 classes.
Yesterday I took 1 extra. I mean, that means I have completed 6. Today is my 7th one, isn't it?
Right, ma'am.
So I'll have only 3 more classes to go. So I think I should complete my paper 5.
Okay.
some of us are not there in that group, ma'am.
Well, who is talking? Who is talking? Who wants to talk?
Yes,
Who wants to talk?
ma'am, some of us are not there in that group, ma'am.
Okay. So, okay. See,
Madam,
Nagaraj garu.
ఫస్ట్ పేపర్ 5 కంప్లీట్ చేసాను మేడం. ఒకవేళ టైం ఉంటే మీరు ఏమైనా ఇంపార్టెంట్ ఇస్తే ఇవ్వండి. పేపర్ 4.
Right. Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ma'am, excuse me.
Yes.
Yasmin here. Ma'am, I just want to know, with so much of choice, what you have told, like we have to, attempt any 4 questions out of the given 10 questions in the exam. So if we want to leave the things in choice, how many units with which we should be perfect with?
All the units you should be perfect with. You are not left with any. It's like units you can't leave. Okay, units you can't leave. Every unit you should be at least with one, two lessons from each unit. If you are perfect, then it will be very easy for you.
Ma'am, question paper pattern is same for all the papers.
Yes.
Okay.
So shall we go back to our paper 5?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, at least second unit and third unit you should complete. You should tell about any one of in that second and third units, ma'am.
Second and third units of what paper, Surekha?
Fourth paper,
I think. Second and third unit. What is there in second unit? Tell me.
Second unit.
Indian Abbey. Very good.
Book 1, Kubla Khan, Christian Skylark, Ode to the West Wind, Ode to Enigma, Ode on a Christian Father.
Ode to the Nightingale, Ode to the Green in. These are all very difficult, ma'am.
One of your friends tells that earlier in March, several lessons were completed already. Okay.
Yes,
Already completed by Krishna sir, Anil Krishna sir. Okay, good. So I don't have to go back. Now I will do my paper, ma. We will think of paper 2 or 3 or 4 later once I complete my syllabus. Okay? It's because already other friends of yours are telling that in the month of March some lessons have been completed from paper 4. Okay, so now I am doing paper 5, my own paper. Yesterday we completed what? Narsimha Rao garu? What did we complete yesterday? Anybody who wants to tell me what I did yesterday?
Unit 2,
A room of one's own.
Okay, room of one's own and WB8.
Second coming and WB8.
Okay, so have you understood the historical concept of WB8? That the 2000 years are coming to a close, and that now the time for the second coming of Jesus is on the way, and people across the world have lost their spiritual connection with the God, just like the bird falcon has lost its connection with falcon. So who is falcon here? Falcon symbolizes
human being.
Falconer.
Human being.
Who is falconer? All of you are talking at the same time. I think I will ask you by your names. Okay. Now let Ruhina Unnisa answer me. Ruhina.
Yes, ma'am.
Who is the falconer?
Falcon is God and falcon is human being.
Okay, is the network very proper between the two of them in 20th century?
No, ma'am.
Very good. Very good, Ruhina. I am so happy with all of you. Now let's go to Easter 1916. Do you want me to do that, or do you want me to go to the next unit? Because second coming is it's very important, so I did it. And if you want me to do that Easter 1916, I will do it, or I will go to Thought Fox. No, I will not leave it to you. I will do it myself because you are all confused. So Easter 1916. Okay. See, Easter is is highly symbolic in Christianity because it represents new life. It represents rebirth and resurrection. Because 2000 years ago, Jesus Christ was crucified on a Friday. He was nailed to the cross on a Friday. And the third day, that is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, morning in the early hours, he came back from the death, back to life. Okay, so Easter is symbolic to new life, new birth, rebirth, resurrection and revival. So that is the symbolic significance with the title. Now 1916. So why is the Easter of 1916 important? What had happened in the year 1916 on the Easter day? Okay, so we should now try to understand that England was never happy being on its own within its country, within its borders. England, the English people were so ambitious, aggressive, and adventurous that they always wanted to explore new areas or explore other kingdoms and invade the kingdoms and occupy them. So this is called, this process of occupying, invading and occupying and establishing their power is called colonization, which even India was colonized by the Europeans like the English, French, then the Dutch and the Portuguese. So the India today can be called as a former colony. It is former colony of the whites, the Europeans. In the same way, until 1947, until we gained our independence in 1947, we were for more than 200 years colonized by the English. So colonization is somebody exerting power over us from outside. Okay, from outside, if somebody comes and exerts their authority, their control and their power on us, it becomes colonization. Okay, so English people have colonized the Irish. Yesterday you understood that W.B. Yeats belongs to Ireland. Did I tell you this? I think yes. So Ireland was colonized by the English, and many Irish people were brutally by the English, or when the Irish people protested and resisted against the English domination in their country, they were killed. Just like the way it happened in India and the other erstwhile colonies. Like in Africa also it happened. So the Irish people have, during that period, 1916s, that was very crucial for them, because that was the time when the intellectuals, the leaders, a group of them, including men and women, have all come together to protest against the English government, English colonization. So in the year 1916, during the Easter time, a group of Irish people have all formed into a league, and then they raised against the English through protesting on the streets. There were a few of them who were very, very popular today, like our own Gandhi, Nehru, Subhash Chandra Bose. So they are all the Indian national heroes. In the same way, in Ireland also, Irish national heroes, they were there trying to liberate Ireland from the clutches of the English. So one of the leaders in that group happens to be the husband of W.B. Yeats' ex-lover. Okay, ex-lover. She was loved by W.B. Yeats. Maud Gonne, her name is Maud Gonne, Maudgonne. But she had refused the advances of W.B. Yeats and instead married somebody whom she loved. Okay, so W.B. Yeats, as a lover, he is upset, he is distraught as a lover. But today, when he is writing this poem, he is considering himself as an Irish person who is filled with the spirit of nationalism. So, if the husband of his ex-lover is standing in the front line to fight against the English, he feels very proud of that man. He gives him his due honor and dignity. Until yesterday, he hated him. Okay, W.B. Yeats hated that man because he felt that that man had snatched away his lover. But today, when he sees that that husband is standing in the front line to fight against the English soldiers, W.B. Yeats is praising, appreciating, singing, and paying him tributes and honoring him through this poem, Easter 1916. So what happened on the morning of 1916 Easter Day was that those of them who came onto the streets to revolt against the English soldiers were all mercilessly beaten by the brutal English soldiers. And in that violence and massacre, hundreds of them, at least 300 people died on the same day, at the same point, at the same place. 300 people were killed by the English soldiers, just like our Jallianwala Bagh. How hundreds of people were shot dead
in that Jallianwala Bagh incident, which is a black mark on the history of the English. Okay, in the same way, wherever they went, these English people, they have shown only the brutal side of their personality. They call themselves very civilized people. They call themselves very sophisticated people. They call themselves very refined, with good, fine manners. But when it comes to colonizing, their civilization, their polished ideas, all of which just fade away, and the brutal instincts and the savage instincts come out by considering the other countrymen as their slaves, as their servants. That's exactly what happened in India. You know, because you all have read the history during your school times or maybe during your college times, what kind of treatment they gave to our Indians when they themselves are foreigners. They have come from a distant land and occupied our land, and then they tried giving in their administration, governance, and everything of theirs, forced them upon us. In the same way, they forced everything upon they forced everything that is English upon the Irish people. So Irish people were just trying to fight for their liberation, for their freedom, and for their independence, when people, thousands of them, have been either maimed, they have got the serious injuries in the shooting, and then 300 people on one day at one go had laid their lives, and they have been raised by the Irish people as martyrs because they have sacrificed their lives for the liberation of their country. And they were so brutal, the English people, that the women, the Irish women were, whenever these soldiers were just passing through the streets in Ireland, and if they ever had come across any Irish girl, they would just gang rape the girl and then kill her, just throw her body into the water bodies, or maybe in abandoned places. It's so painful because Irish people have taken all this from the English people. But finally, in the year 1921, they have got their independence and they became free from the English government. So, if you read literature next year in the post-colonial paper, you will get to understand what kind of atrocities these English people have subjected the natives, like the Indians, the Africans, and then the Irish, other different countries, how they have showed their domination by establishing their government, administration, legal institutions. All such kind of activities have they have established. And so this is the poem which is paying a tribute to all those 300 martyrs who have sacrificed their lives in the year 1916 on the day of Easter for their country. So this is the idea behind the poem Easter 1916. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, it is clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. Very good.
Ma'am,
Ma'am, shall
I want to
yeah?
ask that in which year they got independence, ma'am?
1921.
1921. Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Right. Okay. Now let's go to the next unit. Or shall I continue with Thought Fox and the other Thought Fox?
Thought
Shall I do
Fox.
Thought Fox?
Thought Fox.
Ma'am, better to go with next unit because we have
Okay.
already done poems from this unit. So if we do two from each unit, that would be better.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay, ma. I will do that. I'll do that.
Ma'am, from the drama part.
Ma'am.
Yes, yes, yes.
From the drama part, can we do something
like Waiting for Godot? Shall we do Waiting for Godot?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah. Okay then. No problem. I will do Waiting for Godot.
Me, ma'am. Waiting for Godot is already taught by Kiran sir, ma'am.
Is it so?
But we haven't gone through that chapter, right? Most of us haven't got through that chapter.
Ma'am, the heart of darkness, I want.
Ma'am, please just repeat it.
Please,
Because we have classes.
Please try to understand. Each one wants one. Okay. How can I seriously do that?
Ma'am, excuse me, ma'am.
Ma'am, Waiting for Godot, Fans and Lovers story, sir, of ma'am. Kiran sir.
Okay. Kiran sir has completed Waiting for Godot and Fans and Lovers.
Fans and Lovers.
Okay. So you want me to do?
The heart of darkness, ma'am.
Okay. Please, dear students, everyone wants their own thing. So I will do whatever I think is birthday party. Shall I do birthday party?
Ma'am, you go with that which is important.
Okay, ma'am. After that, you should say that the heart of darkness.
Yeah, see, most of us haven't attended Krishna sir's class, and we have not. Ma'am is explaining. It would be good if you go through it again, and you will be very well versed over it when ma'ams go through it because her explanation is very detailed.
Waiting for Godot, there's already a movie available in YouTube. You can watch it. That will be really helpful. Rather than wasting one entire class, because Waiting for Godot very easily, there's an entire movie available on YouTube.
Okay,
So
my
it is
dear.
best
Yeah,
to go with,
I think.
some
See, I
topic
will
which is more
discuss.
important.
I will discuss the birthday party today. Okay.
Okay, fine, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
The birthday party.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, my dear participants. The birthday party is written by Harold Pinter and it comes under absurd drama. Okay, absurd drama. What is absurdity? Tell me.
Something that is not clear.
Yeah, absurd is something which has no meaning. Okay, isn't it? Are you all with me? Absurd.
Yes, ma'am.
Ah, right.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So,
Meaningless.
meaninglessness. Wonderful. Meaninglessness. We are doing the 20th century literature, isn't it? And so we by now have understood that whatever tragic things were happening in the society and the killings in the name of race, in the name of color, in the name of country, and then World War I and II, all these have actually, if you seriously think about all the kind of violence and the tragic happenings in the 20th century, they are so meaningless. They are so meaningless. What is the point you want to prove through a war? Somebody says, why are you waging a war? To establish peace is the answer. How absurd it is. Okay, in a family, if the head of the family and the others are all fighting, they are and the father is beating the children and all that. He's so indisciplined and all that. So somebody from outside comes and asks him, why are you doing this? Then he tells, I want some peace. That's why I'm beating my children. How ridiculous, how meaningless, how absurd. So the life during the 1920s or so, especially after World War I, has become so meaningless. What people have all followed was, in the wasteland, if you see, everything had become so mechanical. Everything has become so mundane and boring. There is no excitement in life. There is no passion to live. And then, okay, there is no essence of life that one is enjoying. That essence is missing. So what they all did was, they placed their existence first. And then the essence of life, if it is there, it is coming later. So what is coming first? Existence is coming first. Then comes the essence of life. But earlier life was not like that. They all gave importance to the essence of life, then about the material things. The essence of life is enjoying, experiencing the love of everybody, the human relationships, human emotions. All these are the beautiful ideas and expressions and experiences that one enjoys, and this becomes the essence of life. But in the early days, 1920s or so of the 20th century, life has become so meaningless. Okay, and so the writers, we understood yesterday how poets are like prophets, how poets are like visionaries. It means that the writers, not just the poets, these writers are so intense in their thinking about society. They do not want the society to break into pieces. They are trying to bring some kind of a meaning into the society through their works, through their literature, through their novels, through their dramas, through their poems. So they are also like, kind of great job that they have taken up. It's not just for fun. It's writing a poem is not because I have language, or maybe because I am passing my time. No, if I am writing a poem or I am writing a drama, it's because I want the world to get something, gain something out of it. It is so meaningful. Every piece of literature is full of meaning. It teaches us wonderful things about life. But during the first years, during the 20th century, what happened? All this is lost from the lives. Everybody is busy fighting. In Ireland, there is fight. In India, there is fight. In the whole world is fighting. Why are they fighting? What are they fighting for? Is there any meaning behind this? Nothing. It's become so absurd. Life has become so meaningless. It's like, okay, we are existing. It's just that, okay, one year has passed by. Okay, so it's like kind of a survival. Are you breathing? Are you living? I don't know whether I am living. Are you experiencing life? I don't know whether I am experiencing life. Then what are you doing? I am just existing. That is the tragic situation, tragic status of the human being, that he is existing. That is all. He is not experiencing life. He is just existing, and all the things that are happening around him are happening just because they are supposed to happen. But is he a part of it? No. Is he enjoying it? No. Nothing. So life has become so absurd and meaningless. And in this situation, what are the other concepts that he is surrounded by? Disappointment, Okay, disappointment, disillusionment. What is disillusionment? You think that, okay, for oh wonderful, next year 2021 is going to be excellent, wonderful, beautiful, but once 2021 enters and 6 months pass by, all the illusions that you created about the year come crashing down. So that is disillusionment. So that kind of disillusionment started in 20th century. In 1920s, it started. People were all disillusioned about life. They are disappointed with themselves. They are not happy. They are hopeless. They are in despair. Everything about themselves, about their life is a clear, big tragedy. It's a big, huge tragedy. Human
like
man.
2020, ma'am.
Right. Yes. Yes. Okay. So 2020 is, at least there is, we know the meaning, no, that there is a virus. We know that there is a virus. But why are we killing? Why are in wars? Yeah. The wars are so meaningless, no?
Yes, they are meaningless. They are just.
Yeah. So disillusionment, disappointment, no jobs, no life, no happiness, no family relationships, nothing was
Only
happening.
destruction is there.
Destruction. So that led man into serious disappointment, and he started questioning that life had become so absurd. And then this absurd drama came up, like Waiting for Godot or The Birthday Party. So what are you waiting for? We all people wait for something beautiful to happen, something meaningful to happen, somebody to come and do some good to us. But that is not happening. We keep waiting and waiting and waiting. And what is happening is waiting is happening. Is it really manifesting itself into something concrete? No. So what we do is next day, tomorrow it happens, or the next year it happens. Okay, I'm going to lead a good life. I will have this tomorrow. But we are only waiting. And what are we waiting for? We sometimes don't even know. But we are waiting for that something to happen in our lives. So it never happens. Like in Waiting for Godot, two people are waiting. Okay, two people are waiting. What are they waiting for? They say that Godot will come. Who is this Godot? Godot is no God. He is no man. He is none. He is nobody. There is no meaning also to Godot. G-O-D-O-T is a word that the writer had created only to symbolically tell the people that we are all waiting for something which is not present. It's just imaginary. Okay, so these two people wait and wait until evening, and then in the evening one little boy comes and tells them, see, Godot is not coming today. And then they go back home. They say, okay, today Godot hasn't come, so tomorrow we'll come back. Next day they come back. When they come back next day, they wait. And by evening, again, this little boy comes and tells them, today also Godot is not coming. Okay, come on, Godot is not coming today, so let's go back and then come tomorrow. So this waiting is endless, if you see. And what are they waiting for? They don't even know. So these two people, who are they? They are the people of the, that could be me, that could be you, that could be anybody. And we are waiting and waiting. Okay, today he hasn't come, tomorrow he will come. It's like that. So this is the life without any essence, without any meaning that we are leading in the 20th century. So that absurd theater has originated from this kind of a dry, tragic life around us. So what language, what kind of language do they use in the theater, in such kind of texts? So if Waiting for Godot and The Birthday Party, these two can be considered as absurd theater, okay? Absurd plays. So what are the features of absurd theater? what do they do? What are the themes in absurd theater? Like, for example, characters. If you take the characters of a movie, any movie, you have well-defined characters. Like, this character is like this. If you take Bahubali, okay, and you know Bahubali's character is this, Rana's character is this, Ballala Deva's character is like this, Ramya Krishna's character is this, you can define the character. You can sketch the character. But in absurd theater, the characters, you cannot, somebody asks you what kind of person is that fellow. You can't even define the character because there is no definition to the character. They are not well defined. The characters are not well defined. It means that in the society, in the 20th century, our characters are not well defined. We are just here because we are here. That is all. So, and you won't even have too many characters in such dramas. In such dramas, you don't have characters with proper characterization. Okay? They are not properly defined. You can't say them, he is an angry person, he is a good person, he is this kind of a person. How will you be able to assess somebody's character? Because of how he behaves in a particular situation. Okay, if I am behaving in this way in a particular situation, my character can be defined. But there is no situation. Are you able to get this? Okay?
Yes,
there is no situation.
Yes,
and there is no proper definition of the character. You don't understand whether he is an angry person or a happy person or this person or that person. You will definitely not able to know. What kind of characterization can you give to these two men who are just waiting and waiting and waiting? There is no point there to even understand what kind of a character they are. You can't tell. So there is no proper definition to the character. Then if you come to the language, okay, language. So see, in some dramas or in some novels, you have lengthy dialogues, beautiful dialogues, very powerful dialogues, because they are trying to convey a kind of meaning. Through the dialogues, you are able to understand the meaning of the context there, the situation there, and what this character is trying to tell that character. How does that happen? Through language. Where is this language being used? In the form of dialogues. Okay, so when you are listening to the dialogues, you are able to assess the situation, the context and all that. Here the language is so difficult. You don't have lengthy dialogues. No, yes, okay. These are the kinds of dialogues. So you must be now confused. How can that be? So see, they are so incapable. See, if a person who is very capable, okay, intelligent, and then he is his life is full of meaning, only then he will be able to express himself properly in proper language. It happens when things are all going fine. But when a situation is not so good, life around him is so meaningless, do you think he will be happily talking about how beautiful the sky color is and how green the leaves are and how beautiful the pink roses are? Do you think all these will hold any meaning in his life? No. That is why when you are looking at the kind of dialogues, he will only be talking in broken phrases, broken syllables, because the life is broken. Life is broken, so the language is broken. It should, it should reflect. It should be complementary. You cannot say because his life is broken and he is talking about the beauty of roses and the beauty of the sky and all that. It doesn't suit the mood, isn't it? So his life is broken, his situation is broken, which is why his language is broken. Okay, so that's about the language. Then, what kind of what kind of setting is this play? Okay, now Bahubali. I'll go back to Bahubali because it comes to me immediately. You have wonderful settings, beautiful Raj Mahal, and then the gardens, and then everything is so very well, magnificently shown, because they are enjoying life. But if you are not enjoying life, if your life is absurd and meaningless, the setting is also so dry. There is only one tree. The tree will either be bare tree or a sandy location. You cannot expect a person to be speaking in broken syllables and in a beautiful garden. No. So even the setting should be complying with his mood. How will you be able to understand the mood of the scene? Through the setting also. You cannot expect this man to be standing in a very beautiful location where you see the flowers are falling from the trees, and then yellow and red and nice, beautiful perfume, fragrance. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. But such beauty we don't really get to see in absurd theatre. Either it is a road, or it is under a tree which is bare, or maybe in one room, okay, in just one room. So that's where this theatre, the action, whatever action, the little bit of action takes place there. So that it is talking about the existence of the human beings in the modern society. So characters are not fully defined, and then the language is not fully defined. It's all broken and all that. And then the plot is not really very, what is a plot? Plot is like the storyline. There is a storyline. If there is a plot, it means there is a beginning, there is a middle, there is a conclusion. So everything, the story happily, generally when everything is fine, you can happily discuss the plot. Like, okay, the boy has gone to the first, college. There he had fallen in love with a girl, and the girl is from a very rich background. The boy is from a poor background. So then next is how they try to get married and all, how they run away from home and how they get married and what kind of problems they face, and finally how the parents are convinced and then they bring them back home and happily ever after. So there is a linear kind of a growth. Okay, the tempo is so beautifully laid out. But when the life itself is so meaningless, can you expect a story, a beautiful story? So life is all in bits and pieces. Like in words, where did you get this line? Bits and pieces.
Wasteland.
Wonderful. Who gave me this answer?
Madhavi.
Madhavi. Good, Madhavi. I'm clapping for you, Madhavi.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. So in Wasteland, we have come across these images of bits and pieces. Isn't it? Okay, then if the life itself is in bits and pieces, you cannot expect a storyline. You cannot expect a plot. Now, why is it so? Why is there no connection between one scene and the other? Suddenly, how is that scene breaking and then next scene emerges? There should be some meaning, you might ask. But they say, if life itself is meaningless, if life itself is absurd, how can you expect to show a very meaningful story, a meaningful plot with a good beginning and a very beautiful middle and then a proper conclusion, when life has no beginning, no middle and no end? And when we are trying to show that kind of a life, you cannot expect a proper beginning, proper middle and proper end in that drama. So there is no plot, no proper plot, no proper characters, no proper language. Why? Nothing is proper. around you. Okay, so what kind of themes do you expect? If that you, what kind of themes do you expect from such kind of a drama, such kind of absurd theater?
Like we expect, because there is no goal to reach.
Yes, there is no goal. Excellent. There is no goal. There is no objective to life. There is no meaning to life. So you cannot expect such love theme or revenge theme or Bahubali theme or Magadira theme. You will not get such kind of themes. Themes are all based around disillusionment, okay, disappointment, serious dangers, tragedy, degradation, oppression, suppression. These, okay, these are the kind of themes you may come across. And the life of the critical, the cruelty of human beings, how cruel human beings can be. See, the society, see, we may say that no, human beings are all so good and all that. But when you come across a few incidents, then don't we say, see, how can they be so inhuman? How can they be so cruel? Is there no humanity within them? Yes. Yes. Okay. In absurd theater, they show the cruel side of a human being. How, to what extent a human being can become cruel. And then the society, what kind of a society do you have? The society is not properly held at the center. Now, it is not properly held at the center. I am repeating this line. Society is not held intact at the center. Now, which poem will you refer to?
Second Coming, ma'am.
Wow, Madhavi, you are such a lovely girl. You are so ready. Huh, Madhavi, I want to see you. Can you just show yourself to me?
My face? 1 minute, ma'am.
Because you are so alert all the time.
Actually, I'm following thoroughly, ma'am. Oh, God.
Yeah, I get to know that from your answers. You are so quick with your answers. So when I am giving out a question, you are readily giving me the answer. I said, center cannot hold, things fall apart. So, oh, Madhavi, nice to see you, Madhavi.
Thank you.
Congratulations. And I expect everybody to be giving answers like this. What do you say, Yasmin?
Okay, ma'am.
Naid Khan and Surekha and Satya and Ruhina Nisa and
Yes, ma'am.
Brahman, all of you should be participating, okay?
Yes.
Then I will really enjoy that you are all listening. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. So the society is not intact. There is evil, there is crime, there is violence. All these are increasing phenomenally. And the society is holding many abnormal things. The people themselves are so abnormal with their indifferent attitude. They are so unconcerned about humanity. They are so unmerciful. Okay? Material life is at the first place. Spiritual life, there is nothing about spirituality. Money is considered the most important thing in the world. That is the first condition. Okay? So people are living in a world where love and mutual assistance, helping each other is so meaningless. There is no love, there is no trust among anyone. This is the kind of society we are all leading. We are living in the present days. So the existence itself has become so meaningless. Okay, so the isolation, everybody feels so isolated. Isolated in the sense, we all talk about our individual identity. That's wonderful. I always say that every person has to have an individual identity. But what is happening is, though we are all living in one family as a unit, we are all leading such isolated lives. We are not sharing our experiences with our own people. So what is happening? Who is enjoying? Who is making money is the psychiatrists. Do you know this?
Yes, ma'am.
Nahid Khan. Yes, she is agreeing with me that yes.
Yes, ma'am, because we have closed ourselves so much to our own selves that we are getting disturbed from our minds.
Depression is a fashionable term now.
Yes, it's a fashionable term, and there's nobody whom we can speak out to. If we say to somebody of our own, they'll make fun of us, or they'll create a havoc about it. So we are opting for somebody out of the circle, going to someone
like a psychiatrist.
Like a psychiatrist, paying him money and then unburdening ourselves.
We go there, pay him 2,000 for one sitting, cry, and then fatten him and come with some medicine. That's exactly what is happening. Because
there is no true friend or a true love or a true relation left.
Yes. So we are all
not trusting on others. Actually, we are not trusting on each other.
That's exactly what absurd life is about. There is no trust. We are all isolated from one another. There is no communication. There is no communication. There is a huge gap between one person and the other person. There is little care or there is no concern. People are all feeling so lonely. People are feeling helpless. Did I speak anything in an exaggerated manner? No. Are we all not feeling lonely? We are in a crowd, but we are feeling lonely. All these ideas of feeling lonely, helpless, disillusioned, disheartened, despair, helplessness, hopelessness, all these are the major points that are discussed in absurd theatre. Okay? Got the point? Have you understood it, my dears?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, I have understood it.
So now, if you are talking about absurd theatre in your exams, you can just say disillusionment, all the words that we have discussed so far, and that the language is bare minimum, it is broken and all that. How wonderful it is for the examiner to evaluate such a paper where he or she comes to know, wow, yes, finally that students have understood what it means. Okay, they know what are the features of absurd theatre. Okay, so now if you have understood the theatre of absurd, okay, and then in the birthday party and waiting for Godot, the other two texts, they are the absurd dramas. And when you are dealing with these dramas, you will start associating the features that we discussed until now with whatever is happening in the dramas, two dramas. Like you said, you did Waiting for Godot. Now, in Waiting for Godot, what is the theme? Depression, waiting, helplessness, only these things are there. What are they waiting for? We don't know what they are waiting for. So who waits for something? You know, somebody who is helpless, somebody who is looking for some hope, that person waits, no? So all these you can see in Waiting for Godot. Then who is Godot? Nobody knows who Godot is.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. Is that a god? No. Is that a person? No. Is that a Shakti? No. Is that a postman? No. Is that a courier boy? No. Is that a tomato man? No.
We don't know that when it is coming also.
Nobody knows. We are all waiting for Godus, all of us. Okay? So now, may I take your leave? Tomorrow in my class, I will complete the birthday party because it will become very easy for you after you have understood the theater of absurd math. Then after completing meeting birthday party, I will go to Heart of Darkness. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am, darling.
Thank you, ma'am.
All of you are so sweet. You are so sweet, no? All of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm done with the class.
Nice biscuit, madam.
Yeah? Hey, she is kind of old.